Here's my outside wood stove. I thought I'd say something about it. I'm trying to get used to talking on this tape. This here is a Fire Chief outside wood furnace. There's no water involved. It's made in St. Louis. You can burn 36-inch wood. Cast iron grate and fire brick. It's got a secondary, they call it a secondary burn chamber at the top. It makes the smoke go all the way back, and that hole right there is the damper. Makes the smoke go to the back, and you open that up to get it started. And of course, you got your bottom, a big bottom ash pan. Opens up good. That there is the thermostatic controlled damper in there where it lets air into the fire when the thermostat tells it to needs more heat. It'll open up. Then when it gets warm enough in the house, the thermostat will cut it down and it'll smolder more. Makes your wood last a while. But like I say, this is 2 years old. Love it. There's no water involved, so you don't have to worry about your pH. Or you don't have to run no lines for the house. You don't have to use the damper on the ash pan, it gets it too hot. And if it's real cold, you leave the spinner wide open. And not a bad stove. The only problem I had with this company was they make two kinds of adapter that comes out of the stove to hook your stovepipe up to. And for the guarantee on the pipe, you have to have stainless steel inside and out. And there's two, like I said, two kind of adapters, and they're different. And I got the pipe at Northern Tool, about $78 a piece, 3-foot lengths. And this stove has a, they call it a door where it opens up when electricity goes off. It's got a little piece of metal in there that melts and it pops open. This year I got 2 more springs and some screws and instructions that they want to put on top of that to make sure it opens up. That keeps from getting your stove too hot if electricity goes off. There's my electricity, 110, and the return air right there is the 12-inch with the fan and the squirrel cage on the inside, and this up here is 10-inch that makes the hot air go in. And right here is a damper I put in that opens up when the stove kicks on. It opens up, and when it don't, it shuts back. And down in the trunk of this unit here, I just made a curve, went down in it, and then stopped. And I had to make a damper in a flat piece in here to direct the air. This chain here is connected to the bottom side of that, and it's all the way down now from air conditioner. And each one of these links, it's 6 links to make it go all the way to the bottom. So when it gets winter time, I'll take this little piece of wire out and let it go all the way to the bottom. And all you need is the fan in the stove, because if you used the fan on the air conditioner, it would blow it back in the stove and you never would get no heat out of it. And the only thing I recommend on this stove, I bought me a meat thermometer to go in the heating chamber where the heat is, not the fire, the heat, to know exactly how to set this box here. It's got a mechanical device in there that tells when it gets so hot that it will kick on the fan. Even if the thermostat don't tell it to, the fan will kick on when it gets, I think it's 110 to 190. It cuts off at 110, starts at 190. So I put a meat thermometer to know exactly how hot it was. And that's how I got mine regulated. And if electricity does go off, I use a little 3250 that will run the whole house, because I have heat, I have gas, a hot water tank, and a gas cook stove. And I've got it where I hook it up right here. I got it going into the fuse panel, and I've got it hooked up to a 220 breaker. It's a 220 right there, and with a 30 amp breaker too. You can't run it with a 20, but that's my setup. And whenever I hook on, when I get ready to, electricity's off, you turn your main off, then turn your circuit breaker for this stove on, and it'll do my whole house. And the first time I did it, I backfed it through to the well, backfed the house. But it's a good stove, no water, simple. Return air is in the back part of the house, and does a good job. The fan is you really takes it a while if you get a real cold house, because the fan is not real strong. But once it gets caught, it's there. It don't burn a lot of wood. But I had to rig up a way to clean the pipe out, because I can't get to the top. It took me a piece like you use to clean sewer pipes, a little thin piece of metal about 1 inch wide, and then I cut me some. At the end of that, I put the wire brush that fits the stovepipe size, and then I cut me some 3/4 inch PVC that's a little bit shorter than this door, and I take and I open up that hole up there, and then I hit my stovepipe and push up. And they say that the metal is flexible enough that I can take it right here, I can push it up. The next, take another piece of metal, up another piece of pipe, and push it up. I can push all the way up to the top, and then clean it out. And that's a stove. It's a good one. I had to take the screen out the top, because the creosote would build up on it. If it gets a little bit too much on the top, I got some conduit here I put together, and it'll reach the top, and then I tap it. Get it good and hot, make the flame come out the top, and you touch it and it'll clean it right out. But that's my system. It works great. And it stood some 100-mile-an-hour wind. I've got it tied to the house and tied some guide wires on it. And works good. Get my door shut here. But it don't burn too much wood. Only thing, if it don't get 40 or below, gets a house too hot. And then I use real small wood, but that's it. Good stove.